himself depicted as Jesus Christ. Well, it wasn't depicted. It was me. I did post it, and I thought it was me as the doctor, and it had to do with Red Cross as a Red Cross worker there, which we support. And only the fake news could come up with that one. So I just heard about it, and I said, how did they come up with that? It's supposed to be me as a doctor making people better, and I do make people better. I make people a lot better. As an example, the 11,000, I understand your husband's going through treatment.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He's going through some very serious cancer treatment, so
yes,
this goes a long way.
Yes, sir, it sure does.
All right, Shalom. First of all, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the brothers and a few sisters out there. Unto this like foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. I'm going to play the next video.
We've got outrage here with a lot of people mad at Trump over this post that you see on the left, depicting himself as being the Messiah, healing someone. And this was in response to an argument basically with the Pope, where he was saying that the Pope isn't much of anything. Basically, he's only in there because Trump's president, letting his ego fly as he always does. And the Pope responding not happy. Other people responding not happy to the image en masse. What's left of his fractured base is coming out, and just, they're kind of flabbergasted, it seems. People can't believe that they're seeing this. And there's...
I don't think, because this is kind of a late version, because it was going back and forth. But the MAGA people were basically saying that he's the Antichrist. All right. So this man's ego is going so far and beyond pride is sickening. Even other Edomites are second, third, fourth guessing his mother. Those the ones that was left over on his side, his supporters are completely turning on him because this nigga is ego tripping. Your man Trump is ego tripping right now, and he, Dabu's gonna give a bad breakdown. Well, actually, he's gonna get the breakdown, but he's not gonna break it down correctly. That's why I kind of stopped it before I had to let this couple things out, let it loose before it gets to that point. But yeah, this dude is really ego tripping, and I mean, you got the false prophet right here on the right. Well, I'm looking at the right, and you got a president don't have a clue what's going on, talking about he's a doctor. When do you ever see a doctor with a Middle East garment on? That show you this guy's ego is just fucking out of this world. All right. He said, "Oh," and then he tried to played it off like they're bugging, and this guy is fucking turning on his own supporters, his diehard supporters. This is like the full blown disaster movie that's taking place with this individual. So like I said, I'm gonna let it play a little bit. I just have to get that out. But as a matter of fact, let me get a scripture real quick, because he's gonna break down something. I gotta correct him, even though real quick. This first thing that come to mind: 2 Thessalonians 2:3 said, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first." And that falling away was talking about 70 AD. Oh, damn, I don't see something. I seen something on YouTube real quick. Let me see if it's still there. I don't know. It was a post. Somebody had posted it. No, I don't think it was a post. Salak, it wasn't a post. Talking about ego tripping. Let me see. I'm going to type it in. I seen it. So I'm going to see if it's going to pop up. Arch. Yep. So new. This is what I saw. Trump arc. All right, Trump arc. So when you read Thessalonians 2 and 3, everybody read it, they break it down. Like, yeah, we're talking about us falling away from the truth. Yes, but it's really talking about historically. All right, and historically, the Romans came in, ransacked us, 70 A.D. All right, the campaign started at 65 A.D. If I'm not mistaken, it was a 68 A.D. It started then. It really the ark was created by Domitian Caesar on behalf of his brother Titus. All right, so he didn't even get to live to see that. And when you go into the history of that, I've been to Rome and I've seen it. They have an arch of, well, I didn't know what the hell that was at the time, but it's like it shows you the history why they have this arch, and that's a memorial of tearing down Israel, which so happens to be at that time was Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Some of the scattered, some of the other tribes are still around, but mainly Judah, Benjamin, Levi that occupy that land. So that was like the last time that we really any of the true biblical Israelites was there per se. Now you may have stragglers throughout history, but it was in the bulk because the Lord cast us out. So the ark is a memorial, as a thing of, is an ego thing. This mother effer now he's going around using AI footage as he is the Messiah. Simultaneously, this is what 3 days ago. I didn't see this yet, so let me see if I can find a shorter one.
And we show another building, it's an ark, it's the ark. So that circle, that's Arlington Memorial Bridge, as you know, it's sort of the most important one, a very important structure. And at the end of it, you have a circle that was built 150 years ago, nobody knows really when. And in fact, they put a couple of columns on each side. So you have two columns on one side, two columns on the other. But yet, in the middle, there's a circle. And everyone that passes it said, something was supposed to be built there, and it's true. But a thing called the Civil War interfered. That's a good reason. I would say that would be a good reason. Not the great Ike Bro.
Bro, the symbolism. Well, I just listened to what he just said. this guy, this guy is going to truly be the last president. He's he's referring to Civil War. He's building himself an ark to culminate himself. All right, and there's a lot of other things that this guy. He was on Fox, and the lady asked him when gas prices going to go down. Is gas prices going to go down before the election, which is going to take place in November? He said it might go down, it might go up, and she had this look on her face like what, right? And I believe before he said that in the conversation, he's just like a lot of information, see so many things. Before the conversation of the gas prices going up, he was making mention of the Gulf of Mexico and how she called it the Gulf of America, right? And he said, "Oh yeah, if you Google it, it would say they corrected it from Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America because of him, because of his influence." He said originally he wanted it to be Gulf of Trump. So I was like, "What the like? You gotta like the things that this man says is truly it's truly unbelievable. Like you really saying that?" Also, I'm showing this man's ego. Also, when he was going back and forth, 1 minute they beat the crap out of Iran, Next minute, he's threatening to bomb the shit out of them if they don't open the Straits of Hormuz, which the Straits of Hormuz was open to Iran's allies and so forth. And they said they had asked him a question. I'm not gonna look for it, but they had asked him a question, and then the question was because he said that they was asking him who's gonna control the Straits of Hormuz, like in the beginning stage or something like that. And he said the Ayatollah or whoever's in charge of Iran, they're gonna him and that person's gonna control it. And he said out of his own mouth, this egotistical motherfucker said out of his own mouth that it shouldn't be called the Straits of Hormuz, it should be called the Straits of Trump. This dude is out of his fucking mind. All right, he is out of his. He's a madman, and we love it. We love it. Us in GMS, any Israelite camp in a right mind would love it too, because this guy is gonna get us home, man. This guy is literally gonna get us home. He is the weak link. All right. Everybody else had an iron fist. All right, keeping us in this docile state. This motherfucker is pushing everybody. He's pushing the tribes to come together. He's pushing marriages to stay strong. We're coming to Israelites. He's doing a great job. All right. The positive impact of this guy is outstanding. All right. He's gonna usher in the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast, which he clearly said it about the 6G. They said, "Oh, why 6G? Does it go under people's skin?" He purposely said that. He purposely put it in the cook the books, pass a law, basically um, that the chip being not mandatory, but is going to be a thing. He's given all his billionaire friends, all those AI companies, plenty of spaces. They get in the way. They are above the law. All right. There's the data sentences and all this other shit. He is ushering in World War III. He's in a quagmire. So everything that he's doing and he has done is going to equate to us getting the hell out of here. All right. Let me play this a little bit.
The Civil War, you said you're having a war.
Which is ironically where is he's the one that's going to lead America into a civil war with all his antics, even within his own base. All right. Even in his own base, they're in shambles right now because of this stunt that he done April 13th. I like to do my shows at night. Sometimes I did it yesterday during the day, but April 13th, 2026, he, I don't know, he didn't apologize. He took down that picture. So it's kind of hard to find it of him being a messiah and all. But this guy's ego is beyond their imagination. But yet he's the one that's going to usher in a civil war, all right, amongst his bases and his enemies. Hey, he's losing his supporters. He lost Alex Jones, Megan Kelly. He been lost Candace Owens. He been lost Tucker Carlson. All right, the big names, the other names that was riding him for a long time. He losing everybody. He's gonna be ushering. It's funny because he's mentioning in this video Civil War, and he's the one.
I think they have a good reason not to build. Again, they were building the Washington Monument, then they stopped, and you can see where they stopped because the stone is a little different color when you get up to the. But anyway, they stopped here. And then they were, in 1902, they would have built a statue of Robert E. Lee. Would have been okay with me. A lot of people wouldn't have liked it. Would have been okay with me. Would have been okay with a lot of the people, but they didn't do that. And so for years and years it sat, and every time somebody rides over that beautiful bridge going right to the Lincoln Memorial, it's so beautiful, man. It's, they literally say, something's supposed to be here. And
So he's saying it before it even happened, but the video is showing that. That's why I wanted to show it. He was making mention of it because he wanted it. He wanted it. All right. Let me see if this one says
the fate of President Trump's 250-foot tall triumphal
250 foot. That wasn't by accident.
arch will be decided next week at the White House Commission of Fine Arts meeting. The proposed
Now, if you don't know what an arc is, arc, like I stated earlier, the history behind it is when the nation conquers another nation. All right, that's like supposed to say your legacy's forever. So this guy's he's on some egotistical shit. Hey, when the whole Venezuela thing, what did he say? He said that they're building him a statue of himself. All right. So this is the tendencies of the same Romans that took us down. All right. I know I was supposed to break. This is the same tendencies of how Rome was back then when he took us down. But I'm gonna let it play.
unveiled yesterday includes a golden winged Lady Liberty style figure atop the arch. It's flanked by two bald eagles crowning the monument. Blazing across the top of the large central archway are golden letters, of course they're golden, that say "One Nation Under God." And four golden lines sit at each corner of the monument. The proposed arch would be twice as large as the Lincoln Memorial.
I think it needs more gold.
Build it. More gold.
More gold.
I'm in. If you build.
So for him tearing down the White House and building a ballroom, which somebody broke it down, it's a ballroom. So they probably celebrating and sacrificing children for all we know. When it's built, I believe they said that the building they stopped building. So I bring those are the current events. Going back to this, it says, "Let no man deceive you." 2 Thessalonians 2:3. By any means, for that day shall not come except for falling away first, which was 70 A.D. when they took us down, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, which was the Romans, who opposeth and exalt himself above all that is called God. And that's exactly what the display of the current president when he did this stunt. All right, this stunt right here. Okay, two of these mother effers are playing the role of the Most High, the people of the Most High, and so forth. This guy right here on the left, he, he took it upon himself being an egotistical demon, and now everybody's calling him the Antichrist. All right, the fictional character of one guy, one channel was like he's ushering the Antichrist, all this shit. So by their science and by their tactics, they don't believe in the Most High. All right, they don't believe in what the Scripture says. However, they oppose and they call themselves gods. All right, and it says, and as God sitting in the temple of God, show himself that he is God, and that's what Trump is trying to show. That AI shit, he didn't even like. Yeah, I posted it. I thought it was it got me there looking like a doctor because I help sick people. Like, what the fuck? You make people more sick. People are sick and tired of you. All right? People had enough of you. Yeah, this shit's about to go down, man. It says, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. This is Paul speaking to the church of Thessalonica. And now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time, and the time is now. All right. It's not a single person. It's an entire system that's ran by a particular race of people. All right. When the Lord returns, he will be going against all of Esau, Edom, all right? The Edomites, not Esau himself, the Edomites, his entire, Esau's entire lineage, all right? They're the heads of all the shit that goes wrong in the society. So there was a time for him to be revealed, and it is now. For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work, which was the Romans, all right? Only he now will let until he be taken out of the way. And who's the he that letteth? Was the Most High. All right. And the scriptures clearly, Proverbs 16 and 18, it tells you pride goes before destruction. All right. Oh, sorry. Pride before go for the fall. Matter of fact, let me get this other precept. So what we seeing is a display of utter pride on the grand stage of them all. It's so disgusting that even the other Edomites was like, yo, you got to slow it down. You know, it's that bad. It says, Sirach 10, 12. The beginning of pride is when one departed from the Most High, and his heart is turned away from his Maker. For pride is the beginning of sin, and he that have it shall pour out abomination. And therefore the Lord brought upon the strange calamities and overthrow them utterly, which he's about to do right now. Oh, I was supposed to go. I was supposed to read 9. Matter of fact, let me just keep going. The Lord hath cast down the thrones of the proud princes, and set up the meek in their stead, which is Israel. Israel's going to take over. The true biblical Israelites, for you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we're going to take over. Real quick, I was supposed to read 9 too. It says, why is the earth and ash proud? There's not a more wicked thing than a covetous man. And this guy right here that's in office, he covets. All right. That's why it was on a whole real estate thing. He was boasting and bragging. Oh, the oil in Venezuela wasn't a slip up. He said that's our oil. You know, so you're gonna go to somebody else's house and say this is mine? That's covetousness. All right. They want to take over the Straits of Hormuz and take all the tankers and take Cog Island and all this. That's covetousness. All right. For such and one set up his own soul to sell, and that's the history with this guy. He sold his soul long ago. All right. He's a failed businessman that got bailed out by Russian Edomites, which were Russian small hatters that bailed him out. He's always indebted to them. All right. I give him this much. He tried to pay off his debt. I give him that much. But that ego, that pride that he got, the world's seeing it and the world's disgusted by it. Even the other Edomites are disgusted by it. It says, and set up his own soul to sell, because while he liveth, he casts away his bowels. Oh, that's why BB, all right, controls this guy, because they got dirt on him. All right, they got him doing something real nasty that he don't want out public. That's why he has to bring out more distractions to keep the minds of the people distracted. But what's people are starting to pick up and everything, that he's losing his fucking mind because of his pride. All right. Was it a brother that put it? I think a brother had put it. He said, maybe it was a brother. I'm not too sure. Like I said, there's a lot of things you see sometimes. And the saying was that he's in the stead of Nebuchadnezzar. Spur had one of the elder bros had brought it up 2 weeks ago. No, on the Passover he had brought it up because Nebuchadnezzar was real proud. Like, yo, this I built this. Matter of fact, let me get that. Let me get this one real quick. Remember what I just said, right? Daniel 3, 3:1. It says Nebuchadnezzar the king made an image of gold whose height was 60 cubits, and the breadth thereof 6 cubits. He set it up in the plain of Derar in the province of Babylon. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king sent to gather together the princes, the governors, the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the province to come to dedicate to the dedication of the image which Nebuchadnezzar the king has set up. So he brought up all the officers. This is the same thing this guy practices every day. And the image was not um I guess how can I say a universal image. No, this was image of himself. Like, look, this image got to go around. This is the instruction. Anybody that don't bow down will be put to death. And that's why you had the 3 holy children that was put into the oven, right? That's where you get the story from. But this guy's in the same stead. That's why he made that statement when he was trying to distract of what he was doing in Iran at the moment. And he brought up Venezuela, saying how, one, he said if they had an election in Venezuela, they would vote for him. He would be president of the United States and Venezuela at the same time because they love him so much. He said they're building him a statue. So this guy's really on a egotistical ride right now. He's worse off than he ever was from the last time because he was holding back. It says back in 2 Thessalonians 2, but that was the point in Daniel's because it says verse 6 and no, sorry, 7. No, 8. It says, for the mystery of the 7 again. For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work, only he that now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way, and then shall the wicked be revealed. So we are right. We literally in the book of Revelation. Literally. We've been in the book of Revelation for a long time. And people don't even understand what the book of Revelation is about. They know it's the end of the world, but you have to understand what the word means. Revelation means to reveal, right? The Greek word for that is apocalypse, apocalypse, to unveil. So the truth is coming out, okay? The truth is coming out on these people. Who's responsible for all the things that's on earth? They playing right into the tune of the Most High. So he's being revealed. The whole world realized that these devils' egos are beyond is out of control. They can't control small hat wearing motherfuckers who's causing all the problems in the world. And ego and America is his bitch. Okay? But this one particular guy, yo, he's just out there. And it says, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, which is what? The prophets. They're being revealed. All right? And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, which is what? Those ICBM nuclear missiles. The Lord Yahushua is coming to destroy these people. That's why it's so important to constantly get on these devils, because their world's about to come to an end. Literally about to come to an end. It says even him who's coming is after the working of Satan, which is the Greek word is energia, which means power. They're coming out of the power of Satan. But through what? Their technology. This is why this guy, he's trying his best to maintain. They're in a race with China with the chip. Taiwan, they're about to lose Taiwan. Um, China is about to take over. All right, but the main thing is to maintain their their goal, so to speak, and their goal is to bring in this artificial intelligence fully into power, which is that's them being revealed. It says, with all power, signs and lying wonders, and he wants to be the head of it. So let me go back to this other video.
Flabbergasted, it seems. People can't believe that they're seeing this, and there's no excuse for it. Now, when you dive into this further, this shows a dark entity above him and behind him, like over his shoulder, as you can see right here. This dark entity looks to have wings, and he has 3 horns on his head, not a halo. Now, considering horns, this ties into biblical prophecy big time.
And this is what Dabu he goes off, of course, and that's why I wanted to it was like a separate thing right there. But
some people liken the imagery to the warning in Daniel 7, which describes a rising ruler who overthrows 3 kingdoms or kingdoms as he gains power. 3 kings or kingdoms as he gains power through the biblical text. And he goes on to mirror, you have Daniel 7 and then you have Revelation. But you consider the horns, and behold, there came up amongst them.
The horns is talking about Esau's rulership, which the 3 was talking about Great Britain, France, and Spain. All right, that was fighting over here to take over, because America is the offspring of Britain. All right, so they all lost. So yeah, they don't know what they're talking about. But one thing for sure, they know that there's demons behind this guy.
Horn, and 3 of the first horns were uprooted before it. That reads Daniel 7.
Yeah, the uprooting is that war, the French war, what do they call it? Damn, what do you call that damn war with the British? What's another name? The T, when they put the T in the thing, it'll come to me. But then you guys, because when Esau got out of Europe, there was a whole bunch of land grab. Great Britain was one of the main places. Well, it was called Britain, but became Great Britain. That was occupying a lot of the world, and they sent forth their criminals over here to the States. So when the French, the Spaniards, shit, even New York was ran by the Dutch. It was because New York was supposed to call it New Amsterdam, but it became New York. So they was just fighting over it, land grab, and this is the birth of this shithole. From the 13 colonies to winning these particular wars, the Louisiana Purchase, and all these historical things that's all in one history. That's Daniel. He said it too. I think he said Daniel 7 and 7 and 8. Let a Christian tell you certain things. You have you believe that shit. Antichrist is so covered, yo. So I consider the horns. Behold, they come up among them another little horn before him, before whom there were three. The first horns were plucked up by the roots, and behold, in this horn were eyes of men, and a mouth speaking great things. And those great things, it tells you, I think in the same chapter, it was more stout than his fellows. All right, and that's America. America has this arrogancy towards itself. All right, that's why the French hate Americans, the Italians, the Greeks, everybody. You go if you go around the world. If you're a black man or Hispanic man, you have no problem. You go to the other side of the world, all right, in Europe. But if you're a Edomite, they hate your guts, and they tell you that they can't stand American men, American white men, because of that pride, yo. That pride is way too much. So that's the prophecy. But these guys will have you believe like, yeah, this is talking about an antichrist. No, matter of fact, let me get that. St. John prove just to prove it's not one person. St. John's 2:18. Little children, it is the last time, and as ye have heard that the Antichrist shall come, even now are there many antichrists, whereby we know that it is the last time. So the whole entire American system that everybody's so proud about, democracy and all this other shit, that always been part of the anti-Messiah's system. It's not a thing of out of the blue, a new individual is gonna just take your rights from you. They've been taking your rights. The rights the privileges that you did have for a short period of time, that wasn't intended for everybody. That was only intended for a group of people. All right. Oh, the Constitution this and that was only for certain people, and that was it. The middle grade, the gray areas of them all. That's what everybody was building upon, and they always exercise the fact that the Constitution and everything like that is like the greatest thing in the fucking world. No, the greatest thing of liberty is the scriptures. All right, that's the greatest thing. You don't have to go and omit anything. The scriptures stand alone. And the only reason why you have to have it to omit anything is because there's flaws. And every law that they have, they always have to tamper it because it don't stand alone. It's not a test of time. This is not the kingdom of heaven. All right, we are in a demonic system for ages. We're in a demonic system. We always been in a demonic system, ran by these people, and the ultimate demonic system is their new world order. All right, which was established in May 1st, 1776. Don't let them fool you, which they got everybody that they needed.
An 8. 3 horns subdued in Revelation. This is wild. The little horn that we've spoke of over and over again, and now you have this, basically a confirmation with this 3-horned entity behind
Hey,
Trump.
even I believe it was Alistair Crowley. Was it Alistair? Yeah, Alistair Crowley. They call him the Great Beast. He's not the beast. The beast is a system, but they call him the Great Beast. So they know what the fuck they're doing and saying. They know how demonic they truly are. Period. So it's not a surprise. See why Dabu and a lot of people don't. They know, but they can't put their finger in it on it. And what they don't can grasp that this whole entire this American system was built off of demonic forces. All right. A matter of fact, all these kingdoms are built on demonic forces. That's the essence of it. The forefathers, yeah, they were all demons. They were demon worshiping motherfuckers. Luke 4 and 5, it says, and the devil taking him up into a high seating mountain. So in the high mountain, showed him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment in a time. So do you not think for a fact that America wasn't there, the greatest of them all? Absolutely. It says, and the devil said unto him, all this power will I give unto thee, and the glory of it of them, for that is delivered unto me to whosoever I will give it. If thou therefore wilt worship me, all shall be thine. So he told the Lord, like, look, this he has the power to give. So this whole system is built on Satan. All right. So everything they try to say, oh, we gotta this shit is going down like it's supposed to. Anybody that wanna save America, you in the wrong spirit. Point blank period. You are enemy of the Lord. Okay?
The Gentile Messiah. They call him that. All right? So the ego on overload here. And I'm going to tell you, the outrage has exploded from the people out there. This goes deep. I'm going to have to cover this in greater detail in the live streaming.
Yeah, it goes deep. It goes beyond his pay grade. Now you're entering the spiritual realm. You're entering the our profession. But they're not they no matter how we break it down, they ain't gonna understand it. It was meant to be. What's happening right now is meant to be happening. So the Lord could tear this fucking place apart. So that being said, shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.